When the family gathered to celebrate the birthday of their loved one, no one would have thought that this day would turn into a nightmare for them. But after one person disappeared for 7 hours, everything changed. Even though he was found safe and sound in the end, what he said still haunts his family even today. So stay with us until the end of the video. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoy such videos. It all started when a family was celebrating their son's 14th birthday. It was supposed to be the best day of the boy's life, as he was turning another year older. The whole family gathered at their home, so there were many people in the house, which made the celebration even more fun. They played games, they sang songs, and they even had a cake. Everything seemed to be going well. But then something unexpected happened. The boy who was celebrating his birthday went missing. Family didn't think much of it at first, as he had probably just gone out to play with his friends. But an hour passed by, and they still hadn't seen him. So they started to get worried. At first, they searched the whole house to see if they could find him, but he was nowhere to be seen. Then they started calling his name, but there was no answer. After 3 hours, the family decided to call the police. They were getting really worried because he hadn't come home yet. Plus, he didn't have a phone with him. The police officers took the report and started the investigation, but they said it might take some time before they could find the missing teenager. The family couldn't just wait around, so they started to look for him on their own. The mother called his friends to see if they knew where he could be, but none of them had seen him that day. The father started driving around the neighborhood, looking for his son everywhere. Meanwhile, the mother couldn't stop crying. She was so scared that something bad had happened to him. She couldn't understand why he would go missing for so long without telling anyone. They were searching for him everywhere, but there was no sign of him anywhere. After 6 hours, the family was exhausted, and they had almost lost hope of finding him. But then they got a call from the police. They told them that they had found him, and he was safe and sound. The family was so relieved to hear that. They rushed to the police station, and when they saw their son, they couldn't believe their eyes. He was dirty and exhausted, but he was alive. They asked him where he had been all this time, but he didn't say anything. He just looked down at his feet. The family was shocked by his behavior. They had been so worried about him, and all he could do was keep quiet. The father was furious. He started yelling at him, asking him why he would do this to them. The mother, on the other hand, was worried about her son's well-being. She didn't know if he needed some medical attention or not. But before she could do anything, the police officer told them that they needed to talk to him in private, so they let him go. After talking to the boy for a few minutes, the police officer came back and told them that he wanted to apologize for what had happened. He said that he was sorry for worrying them and that he would never do it again. The police officer also told them that he had been found wandering near a park and that he didn't seem to be hurt. The family was still worried about him, but at least he was okay. After thanking the police officer, they took their son home. The mother was trying to make him talk, but he just kept quiet. She was worried that something traumatic had happened to him and that he needed help. But every time she tried to talk to him, he would shut down and refuse to say anything. The family was really worried about him, but they didn't know what to do. Days went by and the boy still wouldn't talk to them. He would just sit in his room all day, staring at the floor. The family was getting desperate. They tried everything they could think of to make him talk, but nothing worked. The mother was crying every day, hoping that her son would get better soon. She couldn't bear seeing him like that anymore. Then the father had an idea. He decided to take their son to a doctor to see if he could help. The doctor examined the boy and told them that there was nothing wrong with him physically. He said that he was healthy and that there was no reason for him to be acting like that. The family was confused and worried, but the doctor told them to be patient and that he would try to help. The doctor talked to the boy for a few minutes, and then he told the family to go outside for a bit. When they were alone, the doctor asked the boy what had happened. The boy looked at him and whispered that he couldn't remember. The doctor was surprised to hear that, but he didn't push him to talk. Instead, he told him that he was there to help and that he would figure it out. The doctor gave the boy a few tests, and then he diagnosed him with dissociative amnesia. He explained that this is a condition in which a person forgets important parts of their life due to extreme stress or trauma. The doctor told the family that the only way to help their son was to be patient and supportive. He said that he would need time to recover and that they should be there for him every step of the way. The family was worried, but they were also relieved to finally know what was wrong with their son. They thanked the doctor and went home to take care of their son. After a few weeks, the boy started to get better. He was still shy and quiet, but he was making progress. The family was so happy to see him recover. They were patient and supportive, and they never gave up on him. One day, the boy was playing in his room when he found a box of old photos. He started looking through them, and he found a picture of him and his friends. He couldn't remember their names or faces, but it didn't matter. He was just happy to see that he had friends. He showed the picture to his mother, and she was so happy to see him smiling. She hugged him and told him that she loved him very much. The boy was hesitant at first, but then he hugged her back. He was still struggling to remember parts of his life, but he was getting better every day. The family was so grateful for the support they had received from the doctors and their friends. They were able to help their son and bring him back to the person he was before the accident. It had been a difficult journey, but they were glad that they had stuck together and never given up on each other. The boy was finally getting his life back on track. He was making new friends, and he was starting to enjoy life again. The family was so happy to see him recover. They knew that he would never forget what had happened to him, but they were also confident that he would be able to overcome it. The boy was still shy and quiet, but he was making progress. The family was patient and supportive, and they never gave up on him. One day the boy was playing in his room when he found a box of old photos. He started looking through them, and he found a picture of him and his friends. He couldn't remember their names or faces, but it didn't matter. He was just happy to see that he had friends. He showed the picture to his mother, and she was so happy to see him smiling. She hugged him and told him that she loved him very much. The boy was hesitant at first, but then he hugged her back. He was still struggling to remember parts of his life, but he was getting better every day. The family was so grateful for the support they had received from the doctors and their friends. They were able to help their son and bring him back to the person he was before the accident. Even though the boy had recovered from his condition, the family never forgot what had happened to him. They knew that he would never forget those 7 hours he had been missing, but they were also confident that he would be able to overcome it. The boy was finally getting his life back on track. He was making new friends, and he was starting to enjoy life again. The family was so happy to see him recover. After the incident, the family became even closer. They knew that they could always count on each other, and that they would never give up on each other. They also became more appreciative of the little things in life, and they tried to make the most of every moment they had together. As for the boy, he learned that it was important to talk about his feelings and to ask for help when he needed it. He also learned that he was stronger than he thought, and that he could overcome anything as long as he had his family by his side. The family knew that the incident had changed them forever, but they also knew that they had become a stronger and more resilient family because of it.